Hey tubers, let's do another quick video to show you that I am making some progress on this rig. Um, when I bought this thing, somebody had pulled the back end completely out of it. I got it cheap. I don't know. This is the SSR Pit bike. It was reasonable, but once again, the back end was basically out of it. I mean, it did come with the back swing arm and the back shock, but it was missing the bolts. It had a different back tire on it. Basically, and of course the wire harness is completely messed up. What I've done most recent, as I'm trying to bring this back, I'm trying to bring it back correctly. I'm trying not to have it all messed up. I'm trying to make it so that when I do start it up and start riding it, it doesn't throw the chain and make a mess of itself. So I was looking at my other one doesn't have one of these chain idlers, as I call them, chain tensioners. But I noticed this little thing here. I said, oh, I must need a chain tensioner. So I ordered this, and this is the more expensive version. And you might say, oh, what's the difference? Well, the difference is whether or not you get bearings on the phenolic wheel. If you don't, there's actually two ball bearings that press into this plastic, and you're not just plastic rubbing on the on this metal shaft. Okay, there's actually a set of ball bearings. They all, and the cheap ones, some of the cheap ones have it that you kind of have metal bushing riding on the metal shaft. I'd rather have bearings. So I don't know, this was like 15 bucks. And it came not only with the idler, the metal thing and all that, it even came with a little clip that goes right here. Right, the little C-clip. Which you could see went right on, and also that's the way it belongs. When I bought this, what I did not buy was they had another piece that kind of wraps around here that provides some guidance of the chain, and you can see the little hole here. I did not buy that because I didn't think I needed it, but now that I have it all put together, it seems that I do. The back tire that did come with this is right here, and it's sitting here because I was counting the number of teeth on the sprocket. There were 42 here. That one was also 42 because one of you guys mentioned that if I had a little bigger sprocket, right, it would have the chain go up wider and I wouldn't be touching here, and it probably would even help on the bottom a little bit. But it does appear to have the right sprocket, and it looks about the right size. I didn't count the teeth on my my other pit bike, my Speed Defies Gravity pit bike, but it looks like 42 also. I am gonna keep my eyes open for a sprocket in the Horde and everywhere else. If I could go up to 50 or 52, something like that, I wouldn't mind doing that, because I think, once again, it would move the chain just up a little bit and would help me get over this stuff. Though when I do sit on it, it moves it away as it presses down. So I don't know. I think maybe it's just a matter of being fussy. On my part, not the bike's part. I've been surprised at how much all the silly little pieces cost for this. As you're buying these bolts, they're 10 to 15 bucks each. This is another 15 bucks. I just put this here. I have to get the right one, but you know, if you had to buy that, that's more money. You're looking about 20 to 25 for the carburetor with the air filter. The pit bike ignition for this thing's like another 15 bucks. If you need a back wheel, one of you folks, Luke, keeps saying, will you, you know, I'll drop by your house, you can fix my bike for me. Problem is, without a back wheel, a decent back wheel, you got to buy one of those. The back wheel, and it doesn't come complete. You got to buy all the individual components for it. The back wheel is like $100 on eBay. You get the wheel and the tire, and then you got to start buying sprockets and discs and all of that trivia. The one that came with it came with the sprocket, but it didn't come with the axle or the spacers or the brakes. I actually had to buy this. Also, beware as you're buying components, you want to measure your shaft size, your axle size. They come in 10 and 12s. So if you need a 12 and you buy a 10, you know, it's going to be loose in here. Or if you buy a 10, if you buy a 12 and you actually need a 10, you're going to have to file it. This actually had a 10, and I actually had to file this to make it big enough to get the 12 in there. Personally, I prefer the 12 millimeter bolt. I think it's a little stronger. I think the bearings are a little stronger. But just beware. Do some measurements as you're buying all this stuff, or you can find yourself with a load of spare parts. let's put it simply. This thing is getting closer and closer to starting. I keep going back and forth. My original plan was to put just the stock ignition on this thing, and I might do that to start with. To do like the high performance Cassini ignition, the one I like uses 12 volts, and this thing has an electric starter and has the ability to come up with 12 volts. So to put that one on there, I would have to hook up the 12 volt ignition system. I don't know, I'm debating that for now, but that would get me the high performance one. And for the adult riders like myself, you can actually make sure, once again, your bolt size and everything works out, but you get you could get a longer version. Swing arm moves your tire a little further back, and that'll help us taller, heavier people to keep from wheeling, right? Your center of weight has a tendency, as you're bigger and you push back on the pegs, right? As you move backwards, you get closer to that axle, you have a tendency to wheelie, and this one hasn't dumped me on my butt, but the other one has. My speed defies gravity, you know, did a wheelie and put me on the lawn. So I know, where was the camera? So you can get an extended swing arm to help cut the possibility of that down a little bit. Anyway, making progress. It is moving forward, taking a little longer than I thought. I guess the heating thing is also, and the snow and winter and all the other things are slowing things down, but it is coming along. Anyway, I really want to thank everyone for watching and commenting and subscribing. Once again, if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. And if you don't, please tell me why. Okay, folks, bye now.